You've heard of Kenosha, but do you actually know where it is or why so many people are suddenly moving here?
I know for sure. I didn't know where Kenosha was before we moved here.
I honestly had no idea where it was either.
So it's not just a pit stop between Chicago and Milwaukee anymore. People are actually relocating here for the community, the affordability and the way of life. You just don't find it anywhere else.
But here's the thing. Prices like everywhere else are going up, and that Kenosha way of life, that window is slowly closing.
If you wait too long, the Kenosha window, like he said, will close. And we're going to be answering two big questions. What are they?
So today we're answering, where is Kenosha and what's it really like to live here?
And hey, if you're thinking of buying or selling and investing or even relocating from somewhere else, call or text us at 262-331-1621 or click the link to get your free buyer's guide, seller's guide, and relocating guide. And people reach out to us every week, just like you. So let's plan your next move.
So first of all, where is Kenosha? Aalia, where's Kenosha located at?
Well, it is southeast of Wisconsin, along Lake Michigan. Actually, it's a very beautiful location, actually. Right between Chicago and Milwaukee. So they are both an hour each from Kenosha. So it's a good midpoint.
The best part about Kenosha is that we have a major highway that goes right through Kenosha. Mm-hmm. I-94 goes between Milwaukee and Chicago. So if you commute to either city, if you work in either city, you just jump on I-94, you go north to Milwaukee or south to Chicago or any of the suburbs in between. Super convenient and easy.
And if you're flying and you're flying for work or whatnot, we are still stuck in the middle between the two major airports, O'Hare and Mitchell Airport. So that's a really good point.
Super easy access. O'Hare, of course, gets you worldwide, anywhere you want to go. Mm-hmm. Mitchell, I believe, is an international airport as well. Mm-hmm. And Mitchell also just has cheaper flights than O'Hare. So if you want to travel a little bit cheaper, fly out of Mitchell, like a lot of people do, like we do a lot of times. Mm-hmm. Another really super nice thing is the Amtrak and Metro station. Kenosha has a Metro station right downtown in Kenosha. So if you work downtown Chicago or any of the suburbs between Kenosha and Chicago, just jump on the Metro train and take that downtown Chicago. A lot easier than driving, cheaper than driving, and you don't have to deal with traffic. And if you like to travel by train instead of driving or flying, jump on the Amtrak train, take that across the country. It goes all over the country, pretty much anywhere you want to go to.
That's actually on one of my bucket lists, to an Amtrak train ride across the nation.
How about Alaska? Amtrak train to Alaska. Ooh, that'd be fun.
That will be fun. So we've been talking about traffic a lot, or the way to get to places. One of the perks of being in Kenosha is it's a big city without the big city prices. Yes, the prices are still rising along with every other state and city during this time, but they're still cheaper than, let's say, Illinois. You don't get the bag tax, the plastic bag tax.
That bag tax. Whenever we go visit somewhere like Chicago or even Libertyville, when our in-laws lived in Libertyville, that plastic bag tax gets us every single time.
Because you're not prepared.
No, we're just not ready for it. And our in-laws are like, well, that's why we bring our own bags. Like, well, we don't live here. We forget to bring our own bags. Just totally forget about that.
Exactly. And if you're a sports fan, it is still close enough to the Chicago for a Cubs game and far enough to still cheer for the Brewers team.
Go Cubs.
Go Brewers.
And Bears. Go Bears.
I don't know about that.
You know you're a Bears fan at heart.
Sure. So why are people moving in Kenosha in 2025, Chad?
Well, affordability. Compared to Chicago and even Milwaukee, Kenosha and Racine are just so much cheaper than Chicago and Milwaukee. Of course, a lot cheaper than Chicago. Chicago has all those crazy taxes, all those crazy fees and everything. Kenosha just doesn't have those. In Milwaukee is also a larger major metropolitan area that has all those extra taxes and fees and everything that Kenosha just doesn't have. So if you're looking for a cheaper cost of living, just someplace that is less congested, Kenosha just is the spot for you, definitely.
All right, so another aspect of why people are moving is because a lot of them are still remote workers, working remotely. They want space and they want quiet to focus on their work, and Kenosha is that. It provides a lot of green spaces, and as the town actually renovates it, more green spaces are popping up. Here we got a lot of parks, and especially if you want quiet but also a nice scenery, going down to the harbor and just kind of setting up camp and just enjoy the outside by Lake Michigan while you work.
I see a lot of people working at either like the Buzz Cafe, Starbucks, here at the library like we're at today.
And it's on the lake that has a patio.
Down at the harbor, I see them working at the harbor all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, so Chad and I have actually recently met a couple who just relocated here in Kenosha. And they do not regret anything. They go like they bought a house just right down next to the lake, and they rode their bikes. And they go, we are so happy that we did make the move, because Kenosha has that small town feel with a big city access to the stores, and that they can ride their bike right down the lake. And they are shocked in how less expensive it is here than in the Pacific Northwest. What about first-time homebuyers? What do you think?
First-time homebuyers are totally shocked by the relative inexpensiveness that Kenosha offers for home prices. And just because if you're looking for a home in the Chicagoland area or Metro Milwaukee area, home prices there are just outrageous, so to speak. It's really hard to find a first-time home in the Milwaukee or Chicago area for less than $400,000, $500,000. But if you come here to the Kenosha area, you can find a first-time home for $250,000. $300,000 is kind of first-time home budget area typically. Maybe a little bit higher than that. It's slowly creeping up still. But you can still find a first-time home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for around that $250,000, $300,000 mark.
Yep.
Whereas a lot of the bigger markets, you can't find that for less than $400,000 right now. So a lot of first-time home buyers are coming to the smaller cities just because they're being priced out of the bigger cities right now if they're looking for a single-family home. Unless they're still looking for condos or they want to keep renting in an apartment. So what's it like to live in Kenosha? So Aalia, tell us about your favorite thing about living in Kenosha, about walking downtown.
Oh, just enjoying the view right next to the harbor, because I love being active. So, and I just hate the same scenery over and over and over again. It gets boring. So we tend to go downtown and just walk by the lake and the harbor. That's after we're getting awesome coffee, either by Anna's on the Lake or the Buzz Cafe, which is on point. And also the new stores that keep popping up, new restaurants that keep popping up. So that is actually one of my favorite things to do.
And she also, sends pictures to her family about us being so close to the lake just to make them a little bit jealous and kind of rub it in their face a little bit about how close to the lake we are. So
they're jealous because of the fact that their closest lake is a half hour, 40 minutes away from them, just because Chicago's traffic is horrendous. So here in Kenosha, little traffic. I'm not saying there's not going to be any traffic, but there's very minimal traffic compared to Chicagoland area. And it's less than 15 minutes no matter where you are. So it's the best spot here if you love walking sunset or sunrise walks. That is the perfect time downtown.
Definitely. And our small business community here in Kenosha, it is absolutely fantastic. If you love shopping local, our small business community here in Kenosha is unbeatable. Of course, we have the big box stores like Walmart's, Myers, Starbucks. For our small business community here in Kenosha, like downtown and spread out throughout the city of Pleasant Prairie, Kenosha, they are unbeatable. We have great coffee, some of the best taco joints and pizza places around. I think they even rival downtown Chicago. Okay, let's talk about the food trucks. There is the beautiful taco food trucks, Tacos 911. Oh my goodness, it is to die for. So if what do the kids say? They're fire, right? They're fire. Yeah. So if you ever are in Kenosha and you see them around, make sure you hit that truck because it is delicious.
fire.
I see them parked by the Walgreens on 80th and 39th Avenue a lot. So if you're ever down in that area, they're parked down there quite a bit. So check them out. How about the community vibe, Aalia? What do you feel about the community here in the Kenosha area?
I actually truly love it. No matter where you end up, the neighborhoods are beautifully quiet but active, if that makes sense. I know it's an oxymoron, but it's enoughly active that it's not completely quiet that if you don't, like, you're afraid to speak, but it's peaceful enough that you can still enjoy your peace. Kind of thing. So I love, and then people just wave to you and they're very friendly no matter which neighborhood you go to.
I mean, just today when we were coming here to shoot our video to drop Abby off at orchestra camp, you know, we were leaving our neighbors across the street or outside doing some yard work, and they waved to us and said hi. So you know, almost every neighborhood, well, I'm gonna say almost, but every neighborhood that I know of here in Kenosha is very friendly. I can't think of a neighborhood in Kenosha that isn't pretty friendly, you know?
I can't think of any.
Pretty much every neighborhood, your neighbor will say hi to you, will wave to you. They're all pretty friendly that I can think of anyway.
And Kenosha also offers a lot of events, not only for those small festivals as local churches do, even like the community events from the Kenosha district in itself, the Taste of Wisconsin, peanut butter and jam concerts, which is at especially during summer, so people can enjoy free concerts, picnic, let the kids run around, be kids. Harbor Market.
Off their screen during the peanut butter and jam time.
Exactly, and that's the key for kids. The Harbor Market. How many vendors you would say that attends that Harbor Market?
I would say as long as all the vendors show up, there's probably 100 plus vendors that show up there.
I think so.
And most weeks, almost all of the vendors show up, so it's a pretty packed place.
And there's a lot of variety. It's not just fruits and vegetables that normal harbor markets are associated with. We have Studio Moonfalls, what offers the comic books that he draws and publishes on his own. We also have fall festivals and tons of things throughout the year. So I love the fact that even though Kenosha may be a little smaller on Chicagoan, but it's a big city.
There's always something going on, whether it's spring, winter, fall, or summer. You can always find something to do around Kenosha. If you're ever looking for something to do on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you can pretty much always find something to do during the weekend.
Exactly. It starts ticking up during the summertime, especially.
Oh, so definitely. There's always something to do during the summer.
I'm glad because I can take my 13-year-old everywhere. So.
And plus, she's out during the school year, so she's always
looking for something to do.
Looking at her watching the house. I'm bored. What can we do? I need to get out of the house. I'm bored.
I know. I start itching
now.
Exactly. So let's talk about housing in Kenosha, since it is a real estate video.
That's true. So Kenosha has a mix of housing. So we have a lot of historic houses downtown in the Allendale neighborhood. A lot of older houses that were built in the 1920s, maybe even earlier than that, like late 1800s, 1930s, 1950s. A lot of those houses have older foundations, older basements. Then as you go out towards the interstate, you have a lot of newer homes that were built in the early 2000s, maybe even as recent as like 2015, 2020s.
So if you like any history or historic buildings, drop down in the comments, what do you like about them? I would love to know because I'm a historian and I love everything about history. So drop down in the comments, what do you like about historic buildings? So,
would you buy a haunted house? Let us know that too. She would totally buy a haunted house.
Oh yeah.
I would hate it, but she would totally buy a haunted house.
Filled with dolls.
And if you're a condo lover, Kenosha has a lot of lakefront condos downtown. We have lakefront condos downtown, and Pleasant Prairie has some condos scattered throughout Pleasant Prairie.
Exactly.
There's some out by Green Bay Road that are really popular.
There's more new construction coming in, right?
Yep. All kinds of new construction all over.
So the types of homes that are mainly throughout Kenosha that we see are more like ranches and split levels, meaning that it's not really, it's like a raised ranch almost. Some with full basements, some with crawl space. So it actually is just what you like. And this is the west of the eye. west of the interstate. So if you're looking for ranches, those are your best bet. That's the best area to look at. So in Kenosha, you don't need $1 million to live near the lake, but it helps if you like snowblowers.
So what's the catch of living in Kenosha? We've painted Kenosha to be all sunshine and rainbows, but honestly, it's not all sunshine and rainbows living here in Kenosha.
Nope.
Winters.
These suck.
Our winters are brutal. We have a lot of snow, a lot of ice, a lot of cold, and salt is everywhere. If you like to keep your house pristine and clean, guess what? Salt gets inside your house constantly. Your house will be white, it'll be black, it'll be all kinds of colors. You have salt everywhere, and if you have pets,
but
just give up.
But we're talking about the snow. Snow is beautiful, especially when you're sitting inside your house and you're looking outside. That's when it's the most beautiful.
It sure can be. Property taxes.
Oh, Lord.
So property taxes in Wisconsin, while our property taxes generally are lower than like Illinois and other states, our property tax rate is actually higher than most states. But because Wisconsin has some good but weird laws, our property taxes are actually lower than most states. They just don't raise it as fast as other states. So our property taxes are lower than almost every state, it's just that our rate is actually higher. So it's kind of weird. It's low, but it's high at the same time. I don't know.
It's
know
like
exactly how to
Kenosha is
explain it.
a good little big town. So
Right.
it's always in between. I mean, Kenosha, like I said, it's in between the two cities. So why not be between?
Why not be different?
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Just like us. We kind of hinted at about traffic. Even though traffic is less than Chicago, oh, thank God.
Most places are less than Chicago, though.
Yeah, well, that's true. But the rush hour on Highway 50 or 75th Street can really test your patience, especially in that high time. I try not to be on that street.
At 3 to 5 o'clock, 3 to 6 o'clock time period, it can get really busy, especially between Green Bay Road and like 39th Avenue, that area there. It can get really busy. So if you're trying to get somewhere in a rush, just allow some extra time.
Exactly. Also, we're not perfect, but the pros definitely outweighs the cons. So
who should consider moving here, Aalia?
usually families who is looking for a better work-life balance or school-life balance, because a lot of our schools are neighborhood schools, so that they can drop and pick up the kids very easily and within minutes of where they work. Unless you're working in another city, which is about a half hour away from us, it's a good situation there. Retirees who wants to downsize their family and live near families, because of the fact that we do offer a little like smaller homes, originality of historic homes, and the lake. Who doesn't want that?
Plus, Kenosha offers that school choice program. So if you don't want to go to your boundary school necessarily, you can send your kids to any school within the district if you want to. You just have to apply to it and get accepted.
There is a time limit, so make sure you keep an eye on that.
Definitely. Remote workers, so if you want space, you don't want to necessarily work in the same place every single time. You want to get out in the world and work in a park. You want to work in the library like we are today. You want to work in a coffee shop, someplace different. Kenosha is perfect for remote workers because almost every single place in Kenosha has Wi-Fi, free public Wi-Fi. Chicago or Milwaukee transplants because they're ready for a calmer place. They're tired of the hustle and bustle of a major city. They just want someplace that's a little calmer, less stress,
peaceful.
Not as much peaceful. There you go. Not as much traffic.
What's another synonym for calmer?
Zen-like.
Zen-like. I love that.
There you go.
Drop a comment. Are you a team quiet neighborhood or a walkable city vibe?
Let us know down here in the comments.
I'm a quiet neighborhood kind of gal.
So we help people just like you every single week. We're Chad and Aalia Scott, your Kenosha area realtors. Give us a call or shoot us a text at 262-331-1621, or reach out to us at any of the methods found in the description of this video down below here.
And don't forget to grab one of our free guides that is also listed under our description as well. And if you're still wondering if Kenosha is right for you, let's talk. Worst case scenario, you get some free advice and some dad jokes or two.
Maybe 3. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye, guys. Affordability and way up. I don't like that. I just sound like I'm just talking a script. Doesn't seem okay. Call or text us at 262-331-161. Oh Lord, almost there. Okay, that stop. You don't sound natural when you do that.
But I honestly didn't.
See how you are talking right now, like you're you're forcing it. Okay.
Dude, that was a natural thing that I said.
It didn't sound like natural. Just letting you know. Okay.
Killing me, Smalls. You really are.
All right, come on. Northeast. Can you please stop? Stop. Just stop. I'm dying.
Plus, Kenosha has that.
We got to do that because I died in the middle of it.